So today's video is going to be a tutorial on the look that I'm wearing right now. Obviously, there's been a few changes around here. If you follow me on Snapchat, you're already well aware that I changed my hair this week. I was just over the black. Enough was enough. I wear a lot of black, and you guys may or may not have caught on about that through watching my videos, but off camera, my gym clothes are all black and gray. Like, I just don't wear a lot of color, and I felt like having a color coming out of my head would be a nice way to kind of spice things up a little bit. And red's my favorite color. I mean, red lips, red nails, red eyeshadow. So, I don't know. I thought I'd try something new. I really, really like it. I hope you guys too, but if you don't like it, I don't really care. Hopefully it'll grow on you, but it's my head and I do what I want. So anyway, about this look, I was wearing this look in my November favorites and I had only 1 million requests for it. It was coming in on Snapchat, Instagram, my YouTube comments. I did tell a few of you guys that this is very similar to a look that I posted, I think it was about 2 years ago, but I wear this look all the time. I feel my most pretty in this type of a smoky eye. A purple or a plum or a berry smoky eye is like the most glamorous, beautiful thing in the world to me. Browns and blacks are fine, but purples and plums and reds are just, those are my favorites. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I enjoyed making it for you. I will catch you guys in the next one. We're having a wonderful holiday season. I have a couple more videos coming for you. Leave some requests down below. Catch you in the next one. Love you more than you will ever know. Bye. Alright guys, as usual, I'm starting off with priming my eyes, and I'm taking my MAC Painterly Paint Pot all over my Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. I'm just working this all over the surface of my lid, priming from lash line to brow. You always want to prime. You always want to prime. One thing I like to do after I've laid down my primer though is blend it out with my finger. This just kind of makes sure that the surface of the primer is nice and smooth and it's not too tacky. It absorbs excess product and it makes sure that your product in terms of your eyeshadow will lay a little bit nicer. And another trick is to lay some translucent powder on top of it. I'm just taking a little bit of my Kat Von D lacquer powder and just lightly dusting it all over that lid just to set that primer and make sure that it's not too sticky. If it's too sticky, then your colors will not blend. Next, I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow in the color Birkin. I'm taking this on a fluffy brush. This is a Smith brush. I'm still not familiar with the names because they're pretty new to me, but I'm working this all up in my upper crease. This look is really smoky, and honestly, it's pretty messy. While I do recommend definitely working that crease color up and getting it nice and soft and blended, as I recommend in every single video, there's really no manner of precision involved in this kind of a smoky look, which is why this is my favorite kind of look and color combination to go with, because as long as you keep the darker colors lower on that lid, it's gonna look totally fine. So yeah, just work it, blend it, work it and blend it, blend it and work it. I'm hyper. Get ready for a wild ride. Then I'm going to take Makeup Geek eyeshadow in the color Cocoa Bear, but any of these warm, rich, red-brown colors that pretty much every company makes will work. I'm going in with another Smith brush. This one is just a little bit thinner and a little bit more dense, and I'm just kind of carving out that lower crease, taking it from inner corner to outer corner. You can make this as dark as you want. You are going to be layering a deep purple on top of it, so in my opinion, making this shade a little bit more pigmented does help that process, but you can really make this as light or as dark as you want depending on your preference. After I lay down the Cocoa Bear shade, I do go back in with that fluffy brush that I used to blend out my Birkin shade, just to kind of soften it up and make sure that it's blended. Going back in with bigger brushes after you've laid down darker colors is really the trick into getting a nice, smooth, seamless, blended smoky eye look. You've heard me say it 1,000,000 times. But you know, it's always nice to remember. Next, I'm going in with this matte plum shade from Makeup Geek as well. It's called Motown, and I'm taking that on an even smaller brush, even lower in my eye. You could technically just layer the purple directly on top of this kind of Cocoa Bear shade if that's what you want to do, but I like to take it just a smidgen below because I definitely want some of that warmth to kind of peek out above the dark purple shades. Purple is one of those colors that I think most people tend to gravitate towards when it comes to playing with color in their makeup. but also people can be afraid of at the same time because they're afraid of it looking too bruisey or kind of like dark circles all around your eye. And the trick to keeping that from happening is to choose the right shades of purple. So I like really grape, kind of vibrant purples, and if you blend them out using warmer tones, it definitely helps the process moving forward to stop it from looking too dark and unflattering if that's something that you're trying to avoid. So yeah, laying down the purple and then going in with that bigger brush that I use to blend out the Cocoa Bear to kind of top off the edges, and then after that I will go in with even bigger brushes to, sorry that was my phone, to make sure that all of the colors blend gradient from lightest to darkest going down the lid. Once I'm done with that, I'm just going to take any random cream shadow. This one is actually kind of a bronzy metallic shade. I'm just working it all over the lid. The only thing that matters in this case is that you're laying down something that's a little bit darker, and if you have something that's shimmery, all the more awesome, because it'll really help pick up the shimmery particles and the rest of the shadows going forward. Then I'm taking Makeup Geek Burlesque and I'm just patting that all over the surface of my lid on top of that shimmery bronze color. Like I said, any color in the world will work. In this case, I wouldn't necessarily recommend using a black cream base, but you totally could anyway. Just not what I would say is like the most ideal thing. But I'm just patting that all over the lid and I'm just kind of slowly blending it up into that plum color that's in my crease. And then I'm repeating the process on the other eye. Just make sure that you're going in swiping motions and kind of taking that up just where you're going to want it to lay underneath those colors. The trick with using these kind of more metallic shimmery shades, in my opinion, so you don't have to blend for your life and they kind of lose their pigmentation, is really just laying them on top of something. You see how quickly it's building up and just grabbing onto that cream shadow? I pretty much always use this technique when I'm going with like a shimmery dark smoky eye like this. So yeah, just patting and blending and patting. Then I'm going to go ahead and just blend out the edges of that shimmery shadow, just making sure it's nice and seamless. This looks really messy still. It's not looking super awesome. Once I add the darker colors, the lashes and the liner, it will all come together. But typically in any smoky eye, you're going to go through the fugglies, so you just got to stick with it. Then I'm going to go in with any black eyeshadow that you have. I'm just going to take this on a brush and start poking this in the outer corner of my eye. You don't have to add these black, I don't know why I call it a black color. It's black. This black eyeshadow if you don't want to. You just want to kind of add this in the outer corner if you want to add some depth. I will take it a little bit along the lash line as well. But you could totally keep it just the way it is if you don't want it to be too dark or too dramatic. But I love adding black to these kind of fun, sparkly, smoky eyes. Smoky eyes, like, are my favorite because I just genuinely feel like I can be super messy with it. I think that in terms of eye looks in general, these kind of what I call a traditional smoky eye are just the easiest in the world to do because I don't have to be perfect. Every time I lay down some of that black, I'm going to take a brush and blend it out, and then I started adding some liquid, this is not liquid Whitney, some kohl liner along the lash line in the color black, and then I'm also going to smudge that out with black shadow lightly. Also very optional, but I just wanted to drag some of that kind of soft smokiness on the outer corner in towards the lid, just to kind of give it a little bit of something. Then I'm taking Shroom. This is from MAC. It's just a white, not stark white, but a nice creamy, vibrant brow highlight, just to kind of lift that arch and kind of tie it all in together and make it a little bit more seamless and blended. And after that, I took a cotton round with some micellar water just to clean up my mess. Obviously, there's a lot to fall out, but that's the benefit of doing your foundation after you do your eyes, is you can just get as messy as you want, and it will not affect the overall outcome of your makeup look. And I always do this. Every time I do an eyeshadow look, even if it isn't super messy, I do kind of like to clean up my outer edge to make sure it's nice and even. Then taking the Man Eater mascara from Tarte. This has been my new favorite mascara right now. What I like about it is it reminds me a little bit of the Benefit They're Real mascara. I think I prefer this one a little bit more. But it has a nice thickening and lengthening ability to it. It doesn't get too clumpy. It does a really good job of my top lashes and my bottom lashes. And as I said before, one kind of unsung hero of the perfect false lash application is a good mascara, because it really does keep those lashes lifted and nice and dark so that you can't see them underneath the band of your false lashes. Just so you know. Next, I'm going in with lashes. These are the Ersatz line from Flutter Lashes. I mentioned them in my favorite video, and I was wearing these lashes in my favorites video, which is what inspired me to make this tutorial because you guys wanted to see it so bad. But they're just really beautiful, perfect lashes. What I like about them is the ends are already curled upwards, which can kind of be a struggle when you have more hooded eyes, as if they go straight out as opposed to up. These are already perfectly lifted, so easy to apply, so comfortable, so beautiful. I'm over the moon in love with these bad boys. Just trust me, they're great. On to skin, I'm taking the Pixie Glotion Day Dew. Immediately upon rubbing this on my skin's gonna turn beet red. It just does that. When I touch my skin, it turns redder than my hair almost. Like it, see what? I don't even understand it. But yeah, this is just a nice, hydrating, illuminating primer slash moisturizer. Really into it. Next, I'm gonna prime using my Tarte Clean Slate Smoothing Primer. This is the, I think this is called the Timeless Primer. I do like this primer, but after this video, I think I'm officially gonna have to retire it for a while because every time I use it, I break out. Every single time. Such a shame because it's such a wonderful primer. For foundation, I'm going to mix the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation with the Dior Air Flash. Obviously, you could use just one or the other, but I have been kind of mixing different formulas of foundations together lately, and this is one of my new favorites. I'm going to take this on a beauty blender and work this all over the surface of my skin like I always do. I do like using a beauty blender when the foundation formula is a little bit thinner or something along the sides to a, I don't know, sheer to medium coverage. I feel like it works way better than a brush when you're not going in with a full coverage foundation. But that's just my opinion. Do what you want. For concealer, I'm going to use the Urban Decay Naked Skin. This is in the color Light. This is a really good concealer shade for me when I want to go super highlighted and lifted, which is what I wanted to do today. I'm really going to speed through the concealer part because there's nothing special about it. I'm literally just going to lay the concealer underneath my eyes, bridge of my nose, cupid's bow, and chin, and then blend it out with a beauty blender. So sit back and enjoy the repetitiveness. Next, I'm going to take the Kat Von D Shade Light contour palette and mix the banana shade with the more ivory shade and take a Sephora flat precision brush to press this all over the areas of my face that I highlighted with that concealer. This is going to set my concealer and give me an overall lifted and highlighted, more bright appearance. I really think that's an important element to having a truly well done smoky eye look, is if you have nice brightness to the center of the face so that it kind of doesn't make you look quite so bruisey or so sick. I really only ever pair smoky eyes with super highlighted skin. Next, taking the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. This is the dark chocolate, I believe. I'm just going to start bronzing all over the area of my skin using a fluffy brush from MAC. Oh, my eyelash is popping off. Excuse me for that. Just bronzing and kind of adding some more warmth to the skin. I think my foundation shade was a little bit too light today, so I'm trying to bring back some of that warmth. I've said before, if you feel like your foundation is too light or too dark, it's always fairly simple to correct as long as you are adding a little bit more brightness or depth to the skin, depending on what your foundation is doing that you don't want it to do, if that makes any sense. Next, I'm taking the center shade from the contour kit that I used to highlight with on a blush brush from MAC just to kind of lightly carve out the very backs of my cheekbones. I took a little bit of it on my jawline, underneath my chin as well, and some of my forehead just to tie all the contour and bronze in together. I find sometimes that if I just bronze and I don't contour in the same areas, it just kind of looks a little bit strange when you have a lot more dimension and structure brought to different areas of the face, but not others, which is why I always contour my nose. I don't do it because I don't like the shape of my nose. I think it's just fine, but I do a little bit of light contouring on the tip and the very end of it, just to kind of bring the same structure and dimension to it that I have all over the other areas of my face. So that's what's happening here. Then taking my Kat Von D Lock-It powder. I'm just going to use this to kind of cook the underside of my face, once again further highlighting and lifting the face using the baking method. I like to kind of carve out the shape that I want to create using a large fluff brush from Sigma. I kind of go an upward angle from the corner of my mouth up towards the top of my ear, which is typically where I lay my contour as well. And then depending on how I'm feeling, I might just do this little line of highlighting slash baking, or I might take a beauty blender like I'm doing here and just kind of adding a little bit more. Since I didn't set my face today, I'm just kind of using the baking method as a way to set the areas of my face that I tend to touch the most, and also using it to kind of reverse contour the bridge of my nose so I don't have to add too much depth. Lord. Then I'm taking this blush from Becca. This is called Flower Child. I thought kind of the more purple tones and a soft pink, baby pink blush would just be really complementary to each other. I didn't want to do something too warm, but I also don't like bright pink blush either, so this is kind of the perfect combination for me. After that, I'm going to go ahead and do my under lash line. I'm going to take that Birkin mixture. Actually, I mixed Birkin and Cocoa Bear together just to kind of connect the under part of my eye to the outer corner of my top lid. There's powder all in my hair again. I think I have to get rid of this powder, you guys. It's nice, but it's too dusty. Every time I edit, there's just powder all in my hair. It drives me bananas. Anyway, I'm just blending that out to get the desired effect. My lashes, you can see my lashes connect to my eyeliner. I do go back and fix that later, so it's driving me crazy. I just thought I would share. Every time I blink, I can see just like white on my lashes, irritating me. Anyway, I'm starting the process of adding the purple, so I will take the Motown color from Makeup Geek on a precision smudger brush and just kind of lightly smudge underneath my eye, and then I'll go in with a bigger brush to blend it out. I kind of repeat that process over and over again until I have the depth that I want. I think in the first video you guys saw my November favorites where I was wearing this look, it was a lot smokier than this, so if you need a frame of reference, you can either have it a little bit more of a chill smoky like you see here, or you can go all out like I did in my other video. But in order to achieve a really smoky lash line, I always add black liner into the waterline and underneath the lash line and just start smoking that out with black eyeshadow. And then after I've done that on both eyes, where I've got the black nice and smudgy and smoky, I will blend the black shadow out with either the purple or the warm red-brown mixture. It's really all personal preference. And then as always, I'm going to mascara my bottom lashes using the same Man-Eater mascara that I did my top lashes with. This is actually really nice mascara. That came out so southern. Then I'm going to brush away that cooking powder using a duster brush from Sigma. I do recommend taking your time with this process. I actually dust it off for a lot longer than I include in videos, typically to make sure that there is no excess product on my face. Then I'm taking the Laura Mercier Highlight 01. This used to be like one of my favorite highlighters in the world. I just started to use it again because it's just so beautiful. And I'm applying that to the tops of my cheeks using a Sigma highlighter brush. I'll kind of connect this around my eye area in like a backward C shape. I'll hit it on my Cupid's bow, a tiny dot on my chin, and then I'll also take a tiny brush to put a little bit on the tip of my nose and a little bit down the bridge of my nose, which also will kind of lift it and make it a little more narrow appearing as well. For my nude lip, you guys, a lot of things happened here. I started off with the number 12. No, this isn't number 12. This is number 11 lip liner. It was a little bit too light, so after I did number 11, I went in with Makeup Forever and number 12, which is what you see here. I don't know if I included the footage of me using the number 11. But first I'm going in with the Too Faced Melted Matte. This is Child Star. It's really, really nude. I thought it was a little bit too nude for me. When I do a nude lip, you guys, I just mix a bunch of stuff together. I don't ever have like one nude lip product. It's like different lip liners, glosses, lipsticks. After this, I went in with Truffle from Dose Colors to deepen it up just a little bit more because I felt, like I said, that the first color was just a hair too nude. And then I'm going to top it off with Buxom Lip Gloss in the color Samantha, which is a really nice glossy nude shade. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you in the next one. Bye!